What's happening? It is Thursday night, and if it's Thursday night, you are watching the Thursday night post game show presented by the Audible Sports Podcast, where sports meets life and culture. And man, I'm gonna have to run that back one day, man. That's and that be go hard, man. No Diddy.
Nah, it do go crazy though.
I am half of the dynamic duo that is Bobby G and Wildcard Mar. What's happening, Brody?
Man, they finally gave us a good damn Thursday night football game, man.
I'm saying, man. Baker and Kirk Cousins did not disappoint. The supporting cast were fantastic. We're going to talk about it. We got some Devontae talk to talk about. We're going to talk about that after we recap this game. Of course, as always, we get to our weekly picks and our weekly top 10. But before we do any of that, for those that are usual suspects and those that are new to the channel, you know what I'm about to do. Do me a favor, follow the directions on your screen. Go ahead, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Turn your notifications on so you know the next time that we are here talking that football talk, which is every Thursday, directly after Thursday night football. Now that we got the essentials out of the way, they gave us a good one, man. Atlanta Falcons defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 36-30 in overtime. A walk-off touchdown by my man Cordero Hodge. This disappoints me because Cordero Hodge was actually on the Cleveland Browns practice squad last season. And now he's making the name for himself. So he was one of those guys that you get sentimentally connected to. They probably, I think he played like 4 or 5 games on the active roster last season. Obviously, we let him go in the off season, but to see him get an opportunity like this on the stage like that, it's fantastic. Same with Baker, man. I don't hate Baker. That situation, that was just business. Business doing what business does. So seeing him have his success, but man, Kirk Cousins, bro. Just when you thought primetime Kirk Cousins was gonna show up through that interception, hey, he came right back and handled his business in overtime. 509 yards, the 27th 500-yard game in NFL history. The 509 yards puts him in a tie for 15th most yards in an NFL game. 4 touchdowns along with the 1 pick, like I mentioned before. Drake London making a name for himself. 12 catches, 154 yards, and a tutty.
Sure did.
Mr. Mooney, who damn near ruined the game. 9 catches, $105, 2 tutties. Had a huge drop in the fourth quarter.
Huge drop.
Yeah. But the Atlanta Falcons, man, came out of the gates on fire, thinking they're one of them teams, and then they drop a couple games. They dropped some games, had you thinking it might have been an illusion. But this is a big win tonight against another team who was on the way up. Division game. Guess, as a matter of fact, this game for the moment puts them atop the division. What's up with them Falcons, man?
Hey, I know the Falcons are sitting at 3-2, but they've been for the most part been in every game this year. Like you said, Kirk Cousins had a big game. Drake London, I think that game that they had in Philly with him and Kurt connected on that winning touchdown. That was big, but definitely tonight was a breakout game. The numbers speak for himself. He had a hell of a game. Young Ho Koo
redeemed
himself big time. Missed that first field goal, one of those field goals, and even after they got a offsides, and then he got to get 5 yards
closer
and missed it, and then had one blocked. So as you see them trying to take get the ball and try to get in the field goal range to tie it up, man. Shout out to the offense, Kirk Cousins and them, doing more than enough to make sure he gets in field goal range, and then next Koo redeemed himself and make sure that he sent into overtime, which he did. A great game by the Falcons. And to be honest, I'll be honest. I think Kurt needed this because had they fall to 3 and that interception was the last thing that you saw him do tonight, I think
Right.
I think the Phoenix gallery would have got a little bit louder. We won't panic. I think they got a little bit. And that's not necessarily his fault. I just think that besides this, offensive explosion tonight, you kind of had hit or miss with this Falcons offense so far in 4 games. So for them to explode with the amount of points and yardage and Kurt's numbers are crazy for tonight. I think they needed it. They needed it. They needed it to, kind of like I said, keep that Phoenix gallery a little bit quieter. So, no, shout out to Kurt. Unfortunately for me, this guy has Kirk Cousins, Drake London, and Young Ho Koo on his fantasy team, and he started all 3 of them.
Oh,
Yeah. So pretty much, I'm already about 83 points in the hole before he even hit 100.
so yeah, you damn near chalking this one up.
Oh yeah. I'm chalking this one up. I'm gonna need a miracle from a lot of people to get back in this one. They're gonna have to have some monster games like the Falcons did tonight. But no, I just think this is the offense I think we were anticipating that we can get from the Falcons with Kirk Cousins and having Drake London and having Kyle Pitts. His numbers, they're biggest tonight. But for me, that's probably one of his better games he's had in a while. I think he's like 7 catches for like 88, 89 yards, somewhere around there. But still, that's very productive for Kyle Pitts. And you kind of slowly seeing his numbers kind of go up this year. Got a couple of touchdowns early in the season and starting to get a little bit involved in the offensive game. So I think if anybody's really benefiting for having Kirk Cousins in the lineup, it's definitely Drake London and Kyle Pitts, because those are the 2 guys we've been waiting for in Atlanta Falcons uniform to finally start, producing. And I think they're starting to come around with Kurt on that being the signal caller. But I also got to give props to Baker Mayfield. He did not look like a slouch tonight.
No,
he looked like he was game too.
Yeah.
My only knock on the Buccaneers is obviously the amount of yardage you're giving up through the air. That kind of says something. I know they lost a couple of their safeties, and that plays into it. So let's be a little fair to them. But at the same time, man, they was kind of getting cooked on that secondary, man. So,
bro.
Oh man, Vita Vea is still a beast. He was still applying pressure up front. It looks if they can probably get some more pass rush from other players besides him.
We need JTS to step up.
Obviously, without a doubt, 100. But no, great game. Obviously, I cannot emphasize between the first 4 weeks and last year. Bobby could tell y'all, man, we had to suffer through some bullshit, all right, and the fact that we actually got not only a game, we got a game that went into overtime that was very competitive, and a lot of roller coasters up and down. Who's going to take this game? Who's going to take the game? The fumble from Tampa Bay's running back late in the game. I'm like, that's what Atlanta. And then Atlanta
White.
Then Atlanta couldn't do nothing with it. They go for it on 4th. I didn't understand that. I would have done. Yeah, it was a lot of up and downs on the ending, and it was great. It was great to see. Thank you, Falcons and Buccaneers, for giving us a damn good football game that we've been dying to have on Thursdays, man. So appreciate you.
Absolutely. Let me keep it on the field for a second. You mentioned Baker. Yeah, from a number standpoint, 180 yards. So I mean, you're looking at it, didn't look like much, but He had a hell of a game, man. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, some great timely passes. The people around him stepped up. Rashad White, you mentioned the fumble, but I mean, he was looking solid. 10 carries for 72 yards, and the combo of him and Bucky Irving going down the stretch, sealing the game away, which takes me to the sidelines. You mentioned the one play, the Falcons going forward on 4th and 15. I'm gonna point to the other sideline. I don't get uh, the Buccaneers' decision to punt. Like, why? You have a decision on 3rd down. You can go for the 1st down, or you can run the ball to force the Falcons to use their last timeout. The only way I'm running that ball on 3rd down is if I'm going to attempt a field goal. If I'm not attempting a field goal, like, I might go for it on 4th down. Like, we've been getting killed in the air all night, but really, I mean, so if I end up punting, I give you the long field, and you basically score with no time on the clock.
Yeah.
What happens if that drive starts around midfield? Okay, now I got about 20, 25 seconds potentially, because they still had timeouts to come back down and make something happen.
I see.
So the only way I'm punting is if my defense is playing lights out. Yeah. This is a 3-point game. Knowing you only have to get like 40, 45 to 50 yards. You ain't got to go get 6. So I'm gonna attempt the field goal to make you have to score a touchdown. And then, as if that doesn't work out, then the way my defense is playing, because how you gonna get downfield? You're not running it, you're throwing it, and you've been killing us all night throwing the football. So I'm not feeling confident. So that's my only question about the punt. That might have been 4 down territory for me right there. Other than that, I get the decision because you got all your timeouts, and it ended up working in the Falcons' favor. I'm gonna hang my hat on the crucial plays being one, Jesse Bates. Shout out to Jesse Bates. He forced the fumble when the Buccaneers were rolling down, and this is crucial because I think that was the possession. Even though the Falcons didn't turn it into anything once they got the ball back, this became that possession with the 4th and 15. But just stopping that drive had all the momentum.
All of
it. Yeah. Baker's making like every throw he needs to. The running backs are getting 5 to 6 per carry. So at a minimum, they're going to come away with a field goal, and that clock is probably going to be left somewhere around the 2-minute warning. Plus or minus, depending on how the Falcons would have used their timeouts going forward. But Jesse Bates makes that veteran play, forces a fumble, you get the ball back. And I think that basically killed Tampa's momentum for the whole rest of the game. Like, the other thing, shout out to the entire Falcons defense. I mean, you went from giving them 24 points in the first half to holding them Tampa to 6 points in the second half plus overtime. So they definitely earned something for that. And it's going to be an interesting division race because now you're in the first place tied with each other. Tampa could have kind of grabbed this division by the cojones with a victory. Going forward, you got this, and I'm a Browns fan, but I'm the realest in it. Minus the Carolina Panthers, I'm like the NFC South look like they pull the worst of first, man. This might be the toughest division in football.
Oh.
And between the Falcons, Buccaneers, and Saints.
Well, no, I don't know about the toughest division in football. But I can definitely say that they're definitely with those three teams are definitely more improved in this division than what we've seen recently. And I can agree with you on that. They got too heavy of an anchor with the Panthers at this
But
point.
not with Andy Dalton though.
I'm I think the Panthers are still piss poor. I mean,
I mean, last 2 weeks
I
they put
know
up
they
60
moved the ball.
points.
I get what you're saying, Bobby. No, I won't take that away from him. But they may have scored 60 points in the last two games, but they damn sure probably gave up 100 in the midst of that. So they got the worst defense probably in the league. I don't know how the hell they finally start moving the ball. I'm not ready to believe that Bryce Young was all the issue of that, but I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop with Andy Dalton. It's just gonna be a matter of time.
It ain't gonna be this week.
Well, I know as they got Chicago, so I don't want to. I definitely get what you're saying right there, but no, man, I think that was probably one of the things that I did recognize um, slowly as the season was starting. You saw New Orleans get out to a hot start, kind of cool off lately. But just the fact that these teams really put in some work to improve. I mean, and they were still, those same three teams were pretty close to each other, last year. But yeah, I'm still going to rock with the Falcons as my choice to win that division. But it's going to be close, man, because Buccaneers they're not going to go away.
Nah.
I think the Saints, they're going to be in there too. So it's going to be a good possibility. It's going to be a great 3-team race down the stretch, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be some good football games down the stretch when you talk about between these three teams: the Falcons, Buccaneers, the Saints. They can all keep it up. It's gonna be some very entertaining football headed into playoff time. Let's see, Captain Captain Kirk almost gave that thing away. Don't hey, don't act like your boy Levante David didn't step in front of that thing.
Oh yeah,
But hey, shout out to Levante David. A lot of people thought he's a free agent this year. Nobody wanted to give him the bag, or a lot of people thought he was done. So shout out to him for showing up and being a leader on that defense. But I do want to say something about the boy Drake London. I'm honestly seeing to me, I think he's been looking at a lot of tape on a guy who was on the other sideline.
Mike Evans.
And Mike Evans. That his game looks a lot like Mike Evans when he first came to the league. And I think he's showing that he's built in that mold. This just goes to show, man, how I'm not even gonna say elite because Kirk Cousins isn't elite, but just how consistent quarterback play can make a difference. Because yeah, he has not lived up to his draft stock thus far in his career until this season. Now Kirk Cousins, consistent quarterback play is elevating his game. So yeah, definitely shout out to Drake London. He's definitely turned into a number one wide receiver. Like I say, just the confidence you can see Kirk Cousins is bring not only to the offense but the entire team. We heard them talking about the commentary team talking about a conversation that they had with Matthew Judon, and he was talking about how Kirk Cousins is around the whole team. Unlike most quarterbacks, they integrate themselves, and of course they're leaders in the locker room, but for the most part, when they spend more time in meetings than any other position. So really, when they come out of those meetings, but they want to let the hair down, blow us, relax. And he's like, nah. Kirk Cousins spends. He said he's like a linebacker, bro. Like he's really around the team like that. When he's not in meetings. So,
gotta love
just
that.
yeah. And it's like you can really see the difference between the Atlanta Falcons this season and last season when they kind of looked like a team on the verge of turning the switch, but couldn't quite. Now you're seeing the difference in the team. Actually, kind of turn that switch, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're a team who can compete in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And so for that, yeah, I'm a shout out Captain Mofo Kirk.
Nah, he's doing his thing.
But y'all know how we do, man. We gotta hit him with that fine tooth. And as we look ahead, thank it. There we go. Took care of business this week. Next week you should take care of business again. But next 6, you got Panthers in Carolina. You got Seahawks coming to your building. You got the rematch, quick turnaround with Tampa, down in Tampa. You got the Cowboys, Saints, 3, 4, and then a trip to Denver. That could be a tricky stretch. Obviously, you're expecting the victory against Carolina. That's a game.
Yeah.
But they have shown improvement with Andy Dalton in the lineup. Can't take that away. The rematch against Tampa, quick turnaround. That's in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. The tricky game for me is that Seattle game right before.
I was about to say.
It's in Atlanta, but you can't underestimate Seattle on the road. And then another tricky game, the 6th game, the last one.
Saints?
No, at Denver.
Oh, that one.
Denver ain't one of them teams, but Denver is one of them places. Difficult to play in. Hard to go in there and get a victory. Ask the Jets. Going up into that atmosphere, getting a dub. We've seen many a team. I mean, we've seen your Chiefs go in there on the high horse and come out defeated. It's one of those.
Yeah, it took them about years when they did it. Man, they Super Bowled it out.
Yeah, it's one of those buildings. But this 6-game stretch, let's say, I think 3-3 or better. If you can come out of that 4-2, now that puts you at 7-4, heading into your final stretch. That's a great place to be in, especially. Let's say the 2 tricky games for me. Let's say you take an L to Seattle, you take an L at Denver. That's only 1 conference loss versus 1, 2, 3, 4 potential conference wins. So that puts you in a great place for a wild card sake. That would give you 2 victories over Tampa, so you're a great place division wise. I think that's, I would put 60% to that particular scenario happening.
Yeah. I could rock with you on that. I'm damn sure not worried about the Cowboys in this situation.
Nah.
Not the way they're so banged up on the defensive side of the ball. We don't know how DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be out. Don't know how long Michael Parsons is going to be out. So you're pretty much just relying on Dak and trying to get the ball to CD and sometimes Jake Ferguson. But I know that they've been putting up some points with Andy Dalton and them, but I'm not worried about the Panthers. You got to handle that business. I'm definitely 100% with you. You don't sleep on Seattle. And then as we saw tonight, Tampa Bay could have won this game, so you got to see them guys. So that won't be an easy one either. They don't have a lot of gimme games in these next 6, but I'm actually thinking they might mess around and go 500. 3-3.
I can see
still
that.
I mean, you're still looking at 6-5, and then down the stretch of their schedule is you got more games in your favor than what you do in this next six. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Mm-hmm.
got Chargers, Vikings. We see what the Vikings are. I would definitely wouldn't favor them in that game, but you never know. With Kirk going back to Minnesota, he might be on a mission to fall out. But um,
Right.
so Chargers, Vikings, Raiders, Giants, Commanders, and Panthers. Like there's more of those games that I would favor the Falcons in this stretch than these
Okay.
next. So even if they come out 3-3, 6-5 out of this next six,
Hmm.
um, I think you can go in that last few weeks of the season and be like, I mean, tough stretch, but more
Yeah.
of these games are more favorable. So I could definitely see them probably going down that stretch of going maybe like a possibly 5-1, 4-2, which will put you more around your 10-9 win mark. And how the South is going,
Right.
10 or 9 wins might easily get you in there. So
Yeah. So basically, you're saying if you're gonna hit a banana peel in the road, let it be during this stretch.
oh yeah, don't let it be that back six because you got more favorable games for the Falcons on that one. So if Kirk Cousins is going to decide to hit the old school Mario Brothers banana slip peel shit, do it in these little tougher more stretch and get the bullshit out the way and then get prepared to make a good run. But if he plays like he does tonight, minus that interception, because that was a bad interception.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, it was.
he stared that receiver down and was easy to read like a book. So take that part away. He damn near played a flawless game. If he plays like that tonight for the rest of the season, then that whole scenario I just made up doesn't even matter because they'll win if he plays like that. Because as you saw, like he's got that explosive offense rolling when he's playing like he did tonight. So that's exactly what you need. I am kind of a little disappointed with the defense. Well, what they added to it, I thought they'd been a little bit more dominant.
Hmm.
I know Baker's numbers weren't crazy, but there were still points in this game where when the Buccaneers ran the ball, and if they wanted to run it and get yardage, they got it. So
Yeah.
I'm still looking for them to shore up the run.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that worries me probably more than anything when you look at them playing against Seattle,
mm-hmm,
who's got a terrific run game.
mm-hmm,
Um, the Broncos, that's how they win football games.
yeah,
You're looking down the road, the Chargers. I think I'm leaning towards agreeing to you on that back end. You got teams who basically focus on running the football. The
yeah,
Commanders, the Vikings, the Raiders, yeah. So yeah, you definitely got to shore up that run defense.
yeah. Better get it right. Better get that right. What's the Buccaneers next six looking like? Matter of fact, so we're talking about the next six.
Tampa Bay, yeah, because now you got a recovery. Um, we're looking at New Orleans, Baltimore at home,
Mm,
that Falcons rematch at home, to Kansas City,
mm.
49ers at home, at New York Giants. That is not
Ooh,
easy.
ooh, their next six is a little bit more tougher.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's brutal. So this game, you kind of needed this one. Yeah,
mm,
you really needed this one. Now that Saints game is now that much more important
big time.
because yeah, that divisional and conference. Because that Baltimore game ain't looking good, especially with Baker's history versus the Ravens.
Mm-mm,
Um, yeah, Baker's history versus Kansas City.
not good.
So yeah,
And
um,
then Niners. Oh, the only gimme game they got is the Giants.
yeah, and that's on the road. Uh, so they even that could be tough. And then the Giants, dude, they got a D line. Their D line is like that.
That
So
is
that's
true.
not even Yeah, they got to come to play every game the next 6 weeks.
Oh man. Mm. Yeah, that's brutal. That's that,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. That's
So you definitely let one slip away tonight. They could get not necessarily knocked out, but they can lose a lot of playoff. Like I say, the Saints game is crucial now.
mm-hmm.
Um, the only saving grace that they have is you got one, two, now you said two out of conference. But yeah, like, and if you were to fall to the Saints, now that Falcons game is must
Yeah.
win because that's conference and division. Now you're talking
Yep.
about playoff position. You got to hope the 49ers aren't getting healthy. Like, yeah, they could lose. They could fall on the bottom side of playoff positioning. And you don't want to be chasing. You don't want to be chasing the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, the Eagles. Like, you don't want to be chasing these teams.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, and yep. So you definitely let one get away tonight.
Oh my.
You definitely let one get away tonight instead of being 4-1. Yeah, that's a game changer.
Big time. No, that's tough, man. And that was that. I mean, that's why it goes to show you how important it is to, um, you know, even if it is a week 1, week 2, week 3, or week 4 game, those that first month, uh, can make that much of a difference to the last month on how shit
Mm-hmm.
is looking for you. I mean, you talk about quarters in the game of football. I mean, break up each month: September, October, November, December. Those are
Mm-hmm.
quarters, and if you start off bad, it affects your second quarter. You know, don't let that transcend and mess up your second quarter. Because then now it translates to a bad third quarter. Then next thing you know, you out of contention before your fourth quarter even starts. So yeah,
Tell
man.
tell me about it.
Yeah, that's tough, man. This is tough. Yeah, Buccaneers. But you know what? I think they're still good enough. And I mean, they beat a good Detroit team on the road already.
True.
You know, they did make the playoffs last year. I'm not going to write them off, but that's a fucking gauntlet, bro. That is a gauntlet, dog. So you know, that's not easier. That's not even elite for the elite teams. That's a tough schedule. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. It is what it is, though. But if you want to separate yourselves from just being a good NFC South team to being one of those upper echelon better
Yeah.
teams, I mean, it's the best way to
You,
do it. Is
yeah,
prove your
you
metal.
definitely got a chance to.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They're gonna give you the chance to sink
Yeah,
or swim.
yeah, they can prove themselves to be a potential threat for the Super Bowl. I mean, if you put, like I said, you go in here, you beat the Saints on the road. If you beat the Ravens, if you beat the 49ers, if
Mm-hmm.
you potentially beat the Chiefs, or even just play a tough game, like if you come out of this 6 game stretch 4-2,
Oh, dog. You turning heads. You turning heads at that point.
yeah, depending on the 2 losses, you sitting pretty. So that means you beat at least one of these 3 teams, is the Ravens, the Chiefs, or the 49ers. So,
Big fact.
uh, yeah, your season outlook is on the line over the next 6 weeks. So,
I dig
um,
it.
and what could play a potential part in all of this is uh, your opponent's roster, which could look a
Mm.
little different. Rumor that excuse me, that it couldn't happen this week, although it could. But Devontae Adams has said
Mm.
that he wouldn't mind playing for the New Orleans Saints. I mean,
Mm.
that's what I heard. You know,
Mm. Mm.
shout out to the dumb Raiders for like what kind of stupid, what kind of man, what kind of what are we doing, Raiders? What are we doing?
They running some kind of shenanigans, bro.
9 out of 10 friend we have seen, and this ain't even limited to the NFL. I don't care what sport you're looking at. every sport. When a player is disgruntled, and I'm not even talking about Devontae Adams. When a player is disgruntled and it comes down to the coach or the player, 10 out of 10 franchises, yeah, coach, I'm sorry, you up out of here. We're sorry. Thank you for all you've done, but we are paying this dude X of millions of dollars. We got to get you up out of here. We can eat that $5 million you make.
Yeah, we'll make that back this weekend.
Right. 10 out of 10 franchises, not the Raiders. The Raiders let a coach come in, disrespect their starting quarterback, just to fire, or just to let him go, only to fire the freaking coach. Why do y'all didn't do that in the first place? Because guess what team is on Devontae's list now that he's unhappy? The Saints. I wonder why the Saints are on that list. Because he came to the Raiders to play with Derek Carr.
Exactly. And y'all got rid.
Did y'all think that was going to make him happier?
Nope. They've done everything to piss him off since he's been there.
Right. Like, bruh, what are we doing, Mark Davis? Man, Kirk will change. Oh, I'm gonna let you enjoy your moment.
Yeah, Ron funny though.
Yeah, Ron. Shout out to Ron.
Yeah, because you've been down in the dumps for majority of this season, dog.
I'm saying, and just Mark Davis, he's just not a bright human being.
No,
Mark Davis.
His dad wasn't either, dog. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all in on a secret. Since the Raiders are in my division, the team that I root for, we have this saying in the AFC West between the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs fans. Raiders do Raiders shit, and this is one of those situations that you add to all the other situations that Raiders do Raiders shit is because they don't operate their franchise like other people do. It's okay to go against the grain, but let it work out for you if you're going to go against the grain. They go against the grain and it never works out. And it's not just Mark. His daddy Al did the same thing too. He would do some crazy shit too that he thought it would make sense and it doesn't work out. But unfortunately for Mark, he hasn't hit nowhere close to nearly of the home runs Al did. So Al would hit home runs, but he would strike out. The only problem is with Mark is he inherited a lot of things that Al did right that, he benefiting from, but he ain't hitting no home runs. He has done nothing right for this franchise that's taking it over. He's struck out too many times. And so your cachet, just like when you make these decisions, it makes us look at you like, oh, this motherfucker don't know what he's doing. I mean, I did see that little young thing that you impregnated, so you were smart on that one. And I ain't got a cat. That little snow bunny was kind of cute. I was like,
allegedly.
I was like, okay. Yeah, allegedly, because we don't know. Yeah, if it come out with a chili bowl haircut, it is Mark's. If it don't, then we know it ain't. So, allegedly, you right. Allegedly.
But here's where else he messed up. He is the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. He is also owner of the two-time, back-to-back reigning WNBA champion Las Vegas Aces, who are attempting to win back-to-back-to-back. The Raiders haven't won a damn thing since the 80s. Yet we come into this season, and for some reason, the Las Vegas Aces colorway has been changed to match the Raiders. If you don't change to get them sorry son of a bitch's colors off of a winning organization, no, you change the Raiders to match the Aces. They actually win shit. Now we got them sad sap black and silver uniforms on the Aces, and they losing. They losing now. They've had their worst season since coming to Vegas. No, get them their colors back. Let them stand alone. We don't need that Raiders bad juju on the Aces.
Big facts.
Like nah, yeah. You get change the Raiders colors to that black, red, and gold. Maybe it'll do you some good.
That is
But
true.
yeah. The dude just doesn't make smart decisions.
Nah.
They gonna give you these losers colors. Like yeah, should have known. Like, and it's probably and honestly, it's probably the bad luck of the Raiders is probably karma from Kelsey Plum.
Hey yo,
It probably is.
what they did to Darren.
Yeah, the man got married. Now, what he did after that is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
At the time,
They shipped it to New York.
yeah, the man got married. Your wedding gift. Oh yeah, we trading you to New York, bitch. How you gonna break up with newlyweds?
Straight in the middle of hunching season. Newlyweds are hunchers. They just got married. Like
Oh man,
hunch like
but
crazy. Man.
yeah, lots of room to land the spots. Apparently, the Chiefs have reached out, the Bills have reached out, the Cowboys are interested. He says he'd play for the Jets.
31 teams out. 31
Oh yeah,
teams.
I'm sure. But where do you see? How do you see the situation ending? Where do you think Devontae will play next?
Man, there's really a lot of places that make sense. But I will say this before I truly answer that. He says he wants to win. He wants to play for a contender.
Yeah,
I don't know if that really matches up because then why are we talking about the Jets? I'm sorry, the Jets are not a Super Bowl. They are
but
not
you
a
know
Super
he's got that connection. Him and Aaron Rodgers have had. Hey, they make it happen.
I get that, but if you talking about you want to win, what have the Jets won in almost, well, let's be honest, in 60 years of football, what have they won? Okay, if we're talking about Super Bowl III, I mean that's a long ass time ago. There's been at least 55 Super Bowls past that. Okay, sure. No, to be honest, I will say this: for me, the spot that makes the most sense is New Orleans. Obviously, with the connection with Derek Carr, and I also think that it helps keep or brings that explosiveness from week 1 and 2 back. Because unfortunately, Vic Fangio figured the blueprint out, and then it got copied last week, and all is going to happen is going to keep getting repeated and copy paste of DC. That's going to keep keeping up that same scheme of how to one, contain Alvin Kamara, and two, getting ahead of Derek Carr. So
Yeah,
if you add Devontae Adams to that kills all that blueprint shit, because Devontae Adams is still elite at 32. And not only that, Chris Olave learning from Devontae Adams. Now you just upped up Chris Olave's game.
yeah.
Now you got the rest of those Sherrod, that guy that goes down the seam. Maybe that helps open up other things. Then your tight end starts getting open. Oh, I didn't even mention Alvin Kamara coming out the backfield playing catch. So I just think if New Orleans was smart, you better outbid everybody else. I think that changes your whole dynamic of your offense in so many positive ways, and so many other people can eat off that. I think that makes the most sense for me. But in all honesty, I think he stays with Las Vegas, because he'll do Raider shit, and they'll look at all the offers, and Mark Davis will be like, I didn't like that, and he'll be silly enough to keep him on the losing team, and probably wait till the offseason to just trade him. So, the best landing spot is New Orleans, but I think he stays with the Raiders.
I'm gonna go with I don't know if his spot's been mentioned too. I know the hot name on the list is the Commanders. A lot of people want to see him
That makes a lot of
with the
sense.
Commanders. Yeah, I mean it does to an extent. Like I don't know how Terry McLaurin would feel about that, but he may have a different opinion than everybody else.
Oh,
But
that opens a lot of stuff up for him to do his thing because he's a true
does
number
it?
one. Well, because
Yeah, he is. But you're messing with his volume now.
yeah, but if you look at it this way, they're going to try to, So I put it to you this way: if I'm a D coordinator and I'm going up against an offense with Devontae and Terry, I can't double both of them. I'll probably
Or
more than
even this. Here's the other
yeah.
thing that is he part of the deal?
If I'm Washington, I couldn't make that deal knowing I'm giving up Terry because I want more weapons for Jaden. I want more firepower for Jaden. Don't get me wrong. If we're looking at the tier wide receivers, yes, Devontae's up here. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that Terry McLaurin is so far down from Devontae that I'm willing to give up Terry in this deal. They asked for a second round in compensation.
First of all, I need that jersey, Terry.
That Ohio State one?
Nah, remember Terry McLaurin wears 17.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams wears 17.
So
yeah, hey, some got to give.
I want your job and your number
and your jersey. Yeah, give it all. Give it. What I was saying, but for me, low key place, and you might not like this. I'm good with the LA Chargers. You're giving away all of Justin Herbert's weapons, and you brought in Harbaugh. I mean, whether you're getting the results you intended or not, that's neither here nor there. But you're 2-2. You still have a fighting chance within the division. You just played the Chiefs really tough. Now you added Devontae Adams to that. Give him back a number one receiver, like we've seen what Justin Herbert could do with a number one receiver. Devontae Adams, is he better than Allen? In my opinion, yes.
Yeah, he's better than anything that Justin Herbert's ever played with.
Yeah, so give him back a weapon. Now, obviously, the rumor is it's not the rumor. I guess it's conditioning, which also what I think hurts his chances of potentially going to the Commanders. Like he's gonna want a new deal, and I think that would set McLaurin off more than anything. You're gonna trade for this dude and pay him. Oh, guess what's happening next offseason? I'm holding out. You're gonna pay me too. I don't know what his contract situation is looking like, but that's usually what happens. We traded for Jerry Jeudy. We paid him sight unseen. Guess what Amari Cooper did? Yeah, y'all gonna pay me too. So I can see that scenario happening in Washington as well.
Hey, I don't hate that because especially if I'm Terry. Yeah, you damn sure. Because I know Devontae just got that new deal about 2 years ago.
When he when he signed with the Raiders.
Yeah,
but I think his guaranteed money's all done. So
yeah, all done. So he wants new guaranteed money. So yeah, and I think Terry got paid maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Last
something like
that
sounds about right.
So, if anything, I would take care of Terry first if I'm Washington.
You can't.
Yeah. See,
but Devontae is not agreeing unless the contract is right.
See, but here's the thing: he doesn't have a no trade clause. Last time I checked,
he doesn't. But the NFL is different. It ain't like the NBA. If those dudes say they ain't playing somewhere, that it's not gonna happen. Remember, once upon a time, T.O. got traded to the Ravens, and he said, "I'm not playing there," and they rescinded that thing right away.
Now you're right. I feel you. Now, when it comes to regards of your Chargers take, you talking about pissed off I would be if you sons of bitches would trade any division but would trade with the Chargers and not us? Hell yeah, I'd be mad as hell because it makes total sense for him to come to Kansas City if he talking about he wants to win.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, and I had this take on my show the other day. And here's my thing: I know Chiefs and Raiders are rivals, quote unquote, and you're not supposed to do business with your rivals.
Yeah.
You know, more times than not, you know, I get it. You don't like that person, but I'm willing to bet, especially in the business world, with more your elite people, under the 1%. I bet you they don't like each other all the time, but they still do business with each other because if it makes sense, it's about making a good business move, not about the emotions or the feelings. So, I wouldn't rule out the Chiefs. I wouldn't rule him out until he either stays or gets moved. So, obviously, the Chiefs are probably at the bottom of that percentage of teams that might acquire Devontae Adams, just because, you know, as much as the Raiders are a rival, you know, they're still a rival too. But I mean, we've also seen, you know, was it a couple of years ago? Eagles and Cowboys made a trade, and Eagles or Cowboys end up with Michael Parsons because of that trade or something like that. So we've seen,
Division trades happen.
They happen. Division
not as
trades.
Uncommon as people think.
Exactly. Hell, you see, you know, I know it's not trades, but you see even people in divisions, if they're free agents, end up going to some more times than not another team in the division.
Yeah. So I mean, this season, Patrick Queen being probably the biggest, going from Baltimore to Pittsburgh.
Exactly. So I mean, it's. I'll just be honest, man. Is the fact that you got a top 5 wide receiver for the last 2 years, and you gave him this word that you were supposed to, you know, that lured him there, and you got rid of that, and you've done nothing but piss him off left and right. I'm not surprised that we're in this situation that he wants to get traded.
And especially, I mean, and here's one thing, like, to Devontae, that I've seen him around town a couple times. He still handles his business in the community. Very, very nice dude. He's, you know, cordial. He's not standoffish in public.
That's what I heard.
He respects his position and what it means to the community. But, bruh, you can't get on TV and be like, I'm not, you know, it's not really like that. I don't blah, blah, blah. You know, run the company lines after you sign up to do a show called Receiver.
And we heard
and
what
the entire world watched you pitch a bitch all last season to the point where you damn near asked for a trade last season and say, I don't want to trade. Everybody, I think it wasn't a matter of if, it was when. Everybody was on the clock. When is Devontae Adams going to ask for a trade? Because we already knew. Like, to me, I'm going to say he personally handled it wrong. Bro, you should have did the shit in the offseason, man. Go ahead and get it out of the way. Again, everybody on earth knew how you felt.
Because we saw it.
Yeah, we literally saw you go through it. We knew how you felt. You knew that, and I can't remember who I was watching talk about it. It's one of the talking heads, but they were talking about it, and they were talking about how we got to this point with Devontae. And the thing I hate about the talking heads is like they get there, but they never hit that aha point. And I feel like I'm telling them from 8,000 miles away through my TV. So I'm going to give them that aha point. Devontae was done when y'all went through a whole off season. And at the end of that, no, because they did that. That was done. He knew that was done. But you go through a whole off season, and you tell me at the end of that off season, my quarterback is going to be Gardner fucking Minshew. You couldn't do no better than that. That's when Devontae Adams was done.
I got rid of my boy in Derek
to give me Gardner fucking Minshew. Y'all could have traded for Trey Lance. I would have accepted a young up-and-coming arm. I can accept that. Joe Flacco put on the show. Y'all could have went and got him. A veteran that has a Super Bowl ring. I can tolerate that. Y'all could have went and got Andy Dalton. Again, another veteran who's led teams to the playoffs. Y'all gave me Gardner fucking Minshew. That's when Devontae Adams was done. And to me, like, it should have been done. It should have been done there. I'm not playing in the regular season. I want out now. Because now
they didn't address the quarterback issue. They didn't address it.
And now it's a circus.
Mm-hmm.
We're into the regular season, and now it's a show. Now you got some questions. Is that hamstring really bothering you? Or is it just, when you get on that plane, is it going to be magically healed?
It's funny that you say that because Adam Schefter was like, he has a legit hamstring injury. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Wait till you get on that plane. Oh, I'm going where? Yeah, we go. Hey, Devontae, you going to be able to go this week? Absolutely. I'm
playing right away.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm with because he pretty much telling y'all, get me the fuck up out of here, bro.
Yeah. Like, y'all, I'm sorry that the Raiders front office doesn't watch Netflix. Y'all would have seen it. And I think that's going to be the downfall of a lot of relationships, man. I really do. Like, and I know that these people, they want to give us access. There is certain shit as a fan I don't want seen because I know what it can cause. You mean to tell me you don't think Malik Neighbors watched the Giants off-season Hard Knocks?
Saw every bit of it.
And saw y'all try to trade up to get Jaden Daniels? You gonna come in this room and say, hey, it was you all along. Now, he was their number one wide. He was the number one wide receiver on their board. But yeah, you ain't gonna play me like you didn't spend the whole draft day up until y'all picked trying to trade up to get Jaden Daniels.
And damn well you was trying.
Right. Yeah, some things I don't always need to know. Like, let's keep that private. And that's how I feel about this. Like, man, yeah, like the Raiders front office is the only people on earth that didn't know that Devontae Adams wanted to be traded.
I mean, the writing was on the wall. I mean, all they had to do was watch the damn receiver series. Like, man, that's how he really feels.
Yes.
Oh well, shit. We might want to trade him. He ain't happy here.
Exactly. Oh,
I
man.
mean, I ain't never been hit this fucking much ever in my life, man. I can't wait to get the.
He was hot.
How much more clear do you need it to be? He said, "I can't wait to get the fuck up out of here."
Yeah.
What else? What else does that mean?
We watched this man run 7,000 routes and not get the ball. And Lou, like, that's the one. Come on, if we didn't learn anything from Terrell Owens, we should have learned this as a football culture. Wide receivers are okay with losing. They will lose and lose and lose and lose every year. But they better get 200 targets and 140 catches and 15 touchdowns. If I could do that and we losing, I'm good. But the one thing you're not going to do is not target me and lose. Yeah, we ain't doing that.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh, man. But, let's get on to the good stuff, man, what the people really want to hear. But before we do that, man, appreciate it. Go ahead and follow the directions on your screen. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on so you know the next time we are here, which is every Thursday, a few minutes after Thursday Night Football. Interesting week. Some ups and downs. Moves on the list. I've come over to the dark side, man. You convinced me. weekly top 10. Last week, you actually had the Vikings in your number one spot last week.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Chiefs, but after their performance from last week, I had to flip flop them. You're a little bit higher on the Texans than I am, even on the Commanders. Your hatred for the Bills still stands.
Well, I mean, I gotta drop you after that ass whooping you took, so I gotta drop you.
Yeah, they did. They were handed a nice thumping. And this is that. This is the one of those weird situations where you and I both hold head to head, kind of over everything. But I still have the Bills over the Ravens only because again, if the season ended today, the Bills would be a home playoff team.
Hey, I feel you. Hey,
but, matter of fact, I think they play the Ravens again.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I just couldn't, knowing that the Ravens and the way that they just dismantled them.
It was
because I almost had them in that position the way that you did, where I was like this close to putting the Bills over the Ravens. I was like, nah, I can't take that image out of my head of how they just got their ass kicked.
Yeah, that was tough.
Mm-hmm.
That was tough. Yeah, we both rocking with the Steelers. I think we have we got the same 10 teams, just different orders, man.
Yeah.
Seahawks the Commanders are rising though quick, and they've done some amazing things, but it's just like they've also done some things that I like. Yeah, the fact that they punted once in the last 4 games is absolutely amazing. But I cannot get out of my head in 2 of those games you didn't score offensive touchdowns.
True.
So it's like, yeah, you were moving the ball, but you settling for 6 or 3 every time. Yeah. But Jaden Daniels is playing out of his mind for a rookie QB. I don't think he's playing as well as C.J. Stroud played last season.
No, not to that degree. No.
Right, but he's playing well. That defense is playing better than they have over the last few seasons. And I mean, we get to the morning on pace. I think from a defensive standpoint, Jaden Daniels is going to face his toughest challenge this week, or at least I'm hoping.
Yeah, good luck with that.
The Steelers still find a way to stay in there. Hey, the Steelers are going to be the Steelers.
I say this because I was looking at some of that Steelers game because I got the NFL Plus app, and I just got to be honest, man. The refereeing this year is absolutely it's absolutely garbage. There were literally T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward. There was a couple of plays, well, more than a couple. It was a handful of plays where these guys had the best pressure in the world, and they have literally a Indianapolis Colt offensive lineman, like literally wearing the offensive lineman like a backpack, and they refused to flag. And look, I don't like to sit here and say, oh, blame refs for this, for that. I don't like to do that. But damn it, at some point in time, like a penalty is a penalty, and you gotta call it. And this is when you got a back judge and a referee both in the backfield. Looking at all this, you got 2 sets of eyes looking at. Do you need a third one down there or something? You need a third set of eyes? I don't know what else you need to make you pull the damn flag out of your pocket and throw that son of a bitch, because it was egregious. And Bobby, when I say there was more than one of them egregious non-calls of holding against the Pittsburgh Steelers,
oh yeah,
I'm talking about they're wearing an Indianapolis Colt offensive lineman, and I guess they just felt like, nah, man, we want old man Joe Flacco to make this game interesting. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not one of those rigging conspiracy theorists. I'm not one of those blame it on the refs kind of guys. But damn it, I just gotta put it out there, man. The officiating this year has been absolutely dog shit. It's been terrible.
Yeah. All I know is there were 2 games last week in which the the quarterback's best game of the season went to waste. This was one of them. Well, the other one was Deshaun Watson against the Raiders. He definitely played his best game as quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, and it went to waste for the opposite reason. Because on a call that the referees have swallowed their whistle multiple times, they decided to actually throw the flag on this one and took away an 80-yard touchdown that would have won the game. So yeah, you talk about the whole every Cleveland Browns fan we've seen every no call you can imagine, because Myles Garrett literally gets tackled 3 to 4 times every game. So yeah, we definitely know. Yeah, we feel and understand what Mr. Watt goes through, because we see it every week as well.
I'll try. I see Chris Jones get tackled on damn near every play.
Yeah, like,
hey, some of these good pass rushers are literally just getting tackled as soon as they get break free.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. My thing is like, come on now, we've got enough rules going against the defense to make their job harder. Like, and then when you just blatantly not call these holding penalties on these great pass rushers, you're giving the offense even more advantage to the game. I'm just like,
right.
It's just getting crazy, bro.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what didn't have an advantage. You or I. Last week's picks, we both went 10-6. We got there in different ways, but the result was the same. Both finished 10-6, moving our season records to 35-29. It wasn't a bad week. Certain games that could have swung things in either one of our favor just didn't do so. Like, you chose Cleveland Browns. I'm thankful for that.
Every game.
Like I said, it wasn't even that. It was, man, that was a very winnable game for us. We wasted Deshaun Watson's best performance of the season. Nothing else I can say. The Colts. Hey, those calls worked in your favor. They did not work in mine. Jordan Love did play. Minnesota Vikings got it done anyway. Shout out to the Vikings. But yeah, some last week was a very, very good week. We both looked to try
with that, dog. I think we both did that, because it was those first 3 weeks. I was like,
yeah,
dog, like,
yeah. Both hit double digits, looking to improve and take command of the standards this week. So we'll get right to it. The bye week, I can't remember which team's on bye weeks, but we are game short this week.
Yeah, Titans, Eagles, Chargers, and Lions all in the bye this week.
Okay, there we go. To kick it off, obviously tonight, you got the early leg up. Falcons take it. Freaking Buccaneers let me down. Baker's their quarterback. I shouldn't be surprised.
Hey, yo.
But it wasn't his fault. I can't blame Baker. It wasn't Baker's fault.
Yeah, you treating Baker like this, dog.
Let's kick it off. We got the Jets in Minnesota. First London game of the year.
Yes.
Game will be in London. So for those early birds, it'll be on. I know
early.
Here in the West Coast, it's like 5 in the morning for us. So I know super early for you guys, but you get to feel how we feel. It's great living on the West Coast, man. You wake up on Sunday, football already on.
Yeah,
you gotta wait. Ain't got to go to church.
Chats.
Jets and Vikings from London. Yeah, give me the Vikings. The Vikings, they're the hottest team in the league.
Yeah.
Playing good football. Sam Darnold's having that rebirth. He's getting his Geno Smith on. Defense is playing outstanding. The Jets, I don't know what's going on over there, but bro, the performance that they had last week, and that ain't it. That is 9 points against the Broncos. Saw Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game put the towel over his head and slump down on the bench.
I think there's something going on between him and Salah.
Probably. I mean, I think this is the first time in his career he's ever had a defensive minded head coach. You know, all the coaches he had in Green Bay were offensive guys. But that's why they brought Hackett over. You know, because that was this guy from Green Bay. So, I mean, the Jets gave you everything you wanted.
Everything.
Yeah, like, produce, bro. Or are you telling me Father Time got you? Which, you know, Father Time is undefeated, so. But it definitely don't look like, people talking about the Deshaun trade being the worst trade in the NFL. I mean, bro, that Brett Favre trade ain't looking too far behind.
Ooh.
I mean, not Aaron Rodgers trade ain't looking too far behind it, because the Jets haven't gotten a damn thing out of him, and he don't have the excuse of being suspended. So, but yeah, give me the Vikings.
It's that ayahuasca and the mushrooms, man. Nah, I'm with you.
Boy,
give me Vikings.
He need to drink some Robitussin. That's what he needs to do.
Get him some milk. No. Okay, but no, I'm with you. Give me Vikings. They're too hot. They're playing great football on both sides of the ball. And y'all better start looking at my man Brian Flores for a head coaching job. If you're smart, but you know,
you gotta settle that lawsuit first. Gotta settle that first.
Nah,
he ain't get no job. Yeah, you gotta settle that first.
No, I'm with you. They damn sure ain't. She said, "Oh, you ain't gonna sue us and get a job, son. That's not how it works." No, you saw what with your boy Kaepernick. He got his money. He ain't coming back. What do you think was gonna happen? So, give me Vikings for sure. They're doing their thing. And then as we go on to the game next, the toilet bowl game. I'm actually going Bears in this one. As much as grief as I've been giving Caleb Williams, I can say that I've seen the progression, that he's doing better game by game, and more the fact that I'm looking at that offensive line that they didn't fix, that they put in front of Justin Fields that made him look so terrible. Now it's the same trash hole line in front of Caleb Williams. They never addressed that offensive line issue. You can go get Roma Dunze in the draft. You can get Keenan Allen, who really hasn't played much since you got him or acquired him. But the fact of the matter is that you never fixed that trash O-line. That is the problem. I mean, so yeah, were there going to be some situations that Caleb was going to struggle? Yeah, because he's behind them. That y'all remember them country fishes when you be seeing out in the country that are just old and rinky dink and it's got major holes in it. Yeah, that's what you're working with. But lucky for y'all, lucky for the Bears, that trash defense you're about to go up against, you might have a career day. And so, Caleb Williams might have his best all-time football game this Sunday. So give me the Bears.
I could dig it. I'm rolling with the Panthers, man. Andy Dalton has injected some life into this offense. I do. The defense is what it is. If they can just slow down DeAndre Swift, because I think Caleb's gonna give him a couple of turnovers. So if you can slow down DeAndre Swift, I like their chances. I mean, they've been averaging 30 points a game since Andy Dalton's been in the lineup. So and the Bears defense ain't really like that either. So I think they can steal one. In Chicago. Next up, got the Ravens and Bengals. Good old fashioned AFC North showdown. Uh, if the Vikings are the hottest team in the league, the Ravens are definitely second. Um, Football they've been playing over the last couple of weeks. You just mentioned it. They just dog walked Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they are back in the form. They look like they figured out the formula on offense, on how to utilize Lamar and King Henry, which I think is what the NFL was afraid of. Like, how the hell do
Mm-hmm.
we let this signing happen? If there was a match made in heaven, uh, signing offensively, that was it. And they figured out how to utilize them both. Everybody on the opposite side of the ball knows their roles. The defenses figured out how to move on from the losses they suffered. Cal Hamilton, we're watching them become one of the best safeties in the league. The, yeah, give me the Ravens on the road.
Oh yeah. Um, I I mean, you said it all. And and I just gotta say this: the look, Bengals finally got their first win against Carolina. Whoop de doo. Yeah. Y'all.
You guys got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but it's just you're catching the Ravens on a bad time. They
Yeah.
are, they're still pissed off about that uh, week one loss. Uh, got caught thinking about that too much and got caught by the Raiders. And then ever since then, they said, "Nah, man, we got to get back to Ravens." And they are a scary 2-2 team right now. Give me the Ravens as we talk about this next game, the Stephon Diggs Bowl, as his current team. The Texans play host to his former team. Um, I don't think this is not a good matchup for Buffalo. Look, you went against a good defense last week. You're going up against another good defense this week. D'Amico Ryans is probably going to coach his best game against this team because he wants to show that, hey, we could beat the top tier AFC teams. And I wouldn't be surprised if Stephon Diggs, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a breakout game and shows out against his former team because he kind of feels slighted. He kind of feels like Josh Allen been kind of taking some media digs at him. And it's rightfully that he takes it that way. When you say, "Oh, well, we're not worried about," we got great guys in here who's not worried about stats. Oh, really? So you didn't have to tell us who you was talking about. We know who you were talking about, Josh. And obviously remember their little training camp situation or mini camp situation where they had to sit down with Sean McDermott and all this and sing Kumbaya and get on the same page and shit. So I think Stephon Diggs is ready to, and here's another thought. Von Miller gets suspended, 4-game suspension. We remember what happened last year when Von Miller got suspended. That pass rush started to become non-existent for the Buffalo Bills.
Big facts.
I won't be surprised if that happens again. And you can't do that against C.J. Stroud. No pass rush against him. He's about to carve you up. Give me Texans.
Yeah, I see your Texans and I raise it now. um, I I agree with yeah, most you said, man. The Bills did get thumped, but I can't also sit here and act like the Texans didn't take that medicine against the Vikings.
True that.
So both teams have kind of had it served up to them this season. Um, the difference to me is um, I don't think that loss shook Buffalo's confidence as much because Buffalo's handled their business prior. They won 40-10, 31-10. Texans could easily be defeated on the season. You beat the Colts by 2. You escaped out of there by the skin of your teeth. You barely beat the Bears. You barely beat Jacksonville. Uh, are they really who we think they are?
Mm.
Now, with that being said, yes, playoff teams and championship teams find a way to win. But at the same time, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You keep playing these close games,
It's gonna get you.
something's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna get you in the end. And Josh Allen is like he's been there. He's been in the gunfight with Mahomes. He's been in the gunfights with Burrow in the playoffs. C.J. Stroud didn't really had that yet. And so in a game like this, like as far as regular season, this could be like one of those games that's like the biggest game in his career. Does CJ really know how to approach something like this? You got not on this could be like a potential rivalry game because of the Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, you know, situation. So yeah, this game is a little bit more than a regular season game, and I think this will be CJ's first time kind of in that environment where the regular season game is a little bit more. It's not quite playoff atmosphere, but it can get there.
Yeah,
it can get there, especially with the back and forth that y'all got going through the media. Yeah, Josh Allen said what he said. Hey, CJ, you now injected yourself into the situation. With your Stephon, he wasn't having fun playing football over it. Ain't nobody asked you your opinion. this is between two grown men. Let them work it out. See, now you done put yourself. So yeah, Von Miller might not be there, but you don't think the rest of them dudes is about to ride for Josh Allen?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, this might be the game of the week, man. But I'm gonna take Buffalo on the road. With that, we got Indy going down to Duval, taking on Jaguars, and I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I said it, man. The Jacksonville lost that game. Their season was over.
So
they lost that game. Guess what, folks? They lost the next game. You lost to the. You lost to the Texans. Now you're about to lose to the coach. Like the season's over. The only question for me is,
can Doug survive?
No. Are we drafting a quarterback?
Ooh. Oh no. They just paid that man.
So you just pay the man, and if that man has you back in position for the first pick in the draft, because I'll tell you right now, you got problems that Travis Hunter can't fix. So if you're not taking a quarterback, you're taking Travis Hunter.
And Travis Hunter can't fix this dude, man.
Exactly. Dion might not even let Travis Hunter come because we all know that Dion might pull an Archie Manning in this draft.
For both of them boys.
For Travis and Shedeur. They're not going just anywhere.
No. And matter of fact, he's already said that, and I believe him on that front.
So I mean, your best bet could be to, if you really want to try and turn your franchise around, if I'm a GM, and remember, current GM didn't draft Trevor Lawrence. If I'm trying to rebuild and we end up in that position where we're picking 1, 2, or 3, I might get on the phone with somebody. Hey, give me a couple of 2s for Trevor. A couple 2 number 1s for Trevor.
Structure that.
Your number 1 this year, your number 1 next year, maybe a 3rd this year. Use my pick as those picks to pull off a quick rebuild. Take a Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe,
Cam Ward.
Hey, get them fan base reinvigorated. Get them ticket sales back up. I'm just saying. But as of this week, man, I'm going with the Colts. Go down there on the road and put the nail in this thing.
Yep. Well, you bring the nail, I got the hammer. So let's just go ahead and put the cover on this pine box and bury these dudes. It's a done deal, man. That was a good plan that you laid out. I don't think that'll happen. But I definitely see them getting rid of Doug Peterson first before they even try to explore to get rid of Trevor.
Do factory reset. Put it out like on your phone, man. Factory reset. Getting rid of everybody.
Hey, and that should be something that they should definitely consider. But my thing is don't give Trevor all the uh, benefit of the doubt before they move off of his ass, which is unfortunate. He's just not playing well. He's just not playing good football. Matter of fact, he hasn't played good football for the most part since he's been in the league. Probably now 4 years, I can probably say 3.5 of it has been this garbage he's been giving us.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. You got the nail, I got the hammer. Let's bury these fools. Indianapolis don't make us look like fools. And y'all go down there.
Could I get beat by 40?
Man, don't go down there and bullshit and lose. But no, Jacksonville's just not playing good football right now, and it starts with Trevor. Now this next game, I went back and forth on this one, man. I had scratched it out, then I had wrote another one, then I scratched it out again, and then I went back and forth at least 3 times on this one. Patriots in New England, Patriots and Dolphins in New England.
Yeah.
And so I originally went with the Patriots, and then I was like, Dolphins can't keep going out like this. Like eventually, that offense is gonna have to figure out something. And then I'm like, wait, they're actually going up against a good ass defense with Gerard Mayo got them boys playing defense. It's the offense I'm worried about with New England.
Right.
So I finally switched back to New England, and I'm stick with New England. I think they got enough on defense to figure things out. And, even though I think their offense is still lackluster, they managed to get some points last week against a good San Francisco defense. Because the issue with San Francisco is not on the defensive side. They got the injuries on the offense. So New England went up against a Super Bowl caliber defense and still managed to almost, I think, damn near 20 points or so, if I'm correct or not, of what they were able to do last week. So look, if I'm Gerard Mayo, talking to Jacoby Brissett, just give us 14. We'll take it from there. Just give us 14.
Yeah.
Because right now, Mike McDaniel can't get nothing going with this offense. It shows you how much they miss Tua. And to be honest, I think that scares me. The fact that they're not looking good on offense. And Tua's, he's still hanging around the team. He's still in the building, So I'm pretty sure he's itching to get out there. The only problem is as soon as he's those 4 weeks of IR is done, they're going to force him to make a decision that I think he's not necessarily going to make out of logic with him and his family. It's going to be out of, it's going to be out of him, missing playing with his teammates so much because he's a facility. Of course, he's missing the game. You see him on the sidelines, just kind of sitting there. Well, he misses it, so I don't think he's going to make that decision off of logic. It's going to be out of him missing playing with his teammates, and I hope he doesn't make that decision based off of that shit. But when it comes to this game, give me the Patriots. It shows you how crazy how much your offense just comes up missing the moment your quarterback goes down, and you got absolutely dog crap out behind it. Which, by the way, I'm not going to down Tyler Huntley. He was able to make a couple of plays last week against the Titans. He just didn't make enough. So
yeah,
and it's going to be tough for him to get going against a good defense that is Gerard Mayo has together. So yeah, give me the Patriots, man.
I'm on board with that for other reasons. There's a lot going on in Miami. You got Tyreek Hill dealing with the police. You lost Jalen Phillips for the season again. Tua, You got Dion coming out saying he wants Shador to play for the Dolphins. Like, there's just a lot of non-football shit going on. When you have a lot of non-football shit going on, there's certain teams you just don't want to run into. You really don't want to run into a division opponent. But for the Dolphins, you really don't want to run into that team up north. That's a team that historically just gives the Dolphins problems. Typically, they give them more problems in Miami. But this particular time, I think you're just running into the Patriots at the wrong time. You got too much going on, and the focus in New England is just you. They're just thinking about the Dolphins. How do we win this game? So for that, I think you're going to see a real lack of focus out of a team, and it's unfortunate. So for those reasons, I'm a ride with the Patriots. Cleveland going to Chocolate City to take on the Commanders.
Chocolate City.
Yeah. Last week, we were that team with a lot going on. I picked against us. You were surprised. This week, I feel like we're now the team on high alert. Our season is on the line. If we lose this game, a whole lot of stuff is going to go awry. But we've had one thing happen this week that I think is bad news for the next couple of teams that we play. Nick Chubb is back at practice. He's not playing. We have 21 days to choose when he plays. But he is back at practice. He's back around the team. He's back in the locker room. That environment. He's raised spirits. Like, just him, the guys seeing him back and working. The quarterback will always probably be the most important player on any team. For us, Nick Chubb will always be our best player. To have your best player back in the environment, like, nothing could beat that. Like, when everything is down, it's all like, and I'm pretty sure you've experienced this. Like, when everything is down, and then you feeling blue, and like chaos is just around you. When, like, your kid comes up and gives you a hug, like, for no reason.
Everything goes away.
Yeah, your whole, like, that can do so much for you. That's what Nick Chubb coming back into this building and being around the fellas. Like, it's like that little kid giving hugs, telling me, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Combine that with the fact, like I said, Deshaun Watson is coming off his best performance as a Cleveland Brown. I think this is a dangerous time to be playing the Cleveland Browns. We gave away a winnable game. We know it. We got the Commanders coming in. We're hearing all this noise. They're the hottest team in the league. Hey, Jalen Daniels, he might be the next Lamar Jackson. We're hearing all this noise, and we're going to see this team that's just been killing. Oh, he's completing every pass. He's completing like 95% of his pass. Hey, we have one of the better secondaries in the league. Myles Garrett has literally sacked every quarterback he's ever gone against. We're hearing everything, and I think they're just going to let all of their frustrations out on the Washington Commanders. So I look for a convincing win. I'm not saying like we're gonna go in there like 40 to nothing. It could be 13. We could score 13 points. But this is gonna be it's gonna be like, no doubt, the Cleveland Browns won that game.
Got you.
So they gonna remember forever the night they played the Browns.
Ooh, man, you made some compelling arguments. The only problem is they're going to Chocolate City. The Commanders already got a massage room and session set up for your boy. They already got it set up. No, I just like the way that the obviously the offense for Washington is playing right now. Um, Good thing that the defense, they showed up last week against Arizona and pretty much did what they had to do. Uh,
Mm,
so that could be a a game builder or a building block for the
yeah,
defense side of that ball. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, I need more consistency from Deshaun. Hey, great game last week. The only problem is the whole time you've been in the Browns uniform, we haven't seen you stockpile these consecutive of good games, and that's probably the issue that I got. So we'll see what happens, and then
that's fair.
uh, I just think Dan Quinn, man, he's going to start putting his imprint on there because right now it looks like uh, Cliff Kingsbury's imprint on the offense is starting to show. When we going to start seeing Dan Quinn's imprint on the defense start showing up? So there's a
Mm,
good possibility that it could possibly be this week. Um, some of the injuries the Browns got on that O line is starting to scare me.
yeah,
Uh, so let some of those first round picks that you got from Alabama on that first on that in that trench warfare on the defensive side, let's start getting them going. So give me Commanders. Up next, we got the you know uh, two losers of the AFC West. Um, Got the Broncos playing host to Devontae Adams list Raiders because he's saying, yeah, my hamstring's still jacked up. I ain't playing.
yeah.
So yeah, uh, hey, these guys are making business decisions right now, wearing silver and black. Why hurt myself with this trash ass organization? No, I don't know what's really going on, but it's always some bullshit every year with the Raiders. Raiders, like I said, Raiders do Raider shit, and give me Broncos. I mean, the Broncos are not a good team, but they won two games. Bo Nix is, he's okay. He's been doing okay. But lucky for you're going against this debacle of a franchise right now. So give me
Yeah,
Broncos.
I'm with you, man. And see this, like, I hate picking the Broncos because I hate Sean Payton with a passion.
Oh, trust me,
But
I'm right there.
but 2 weeks in a row, you play two franchises that are just in it's got too much going on. Uh, I think Max Crosby's gonna miss this game as well. If I'm not mistaken. So you avoid that disaster. Obviously, you avoid Devontae. The game is in Denver. Like I say, that's one of those places tough to play as is.
hmm
Um, yeah, I think the Broncos squeak out another one before they shut it down for the season.
No worries,
Because
Raiders. We're just gonna beat y'all and then return to back to our sucking.
yeah, absolutely. They'll give their fans some hope. They'll be 3-2. But then I mean, look, after this, you got the Chargers, you got the Saints. Uh, yeah, you got Chargers, Saints, the Panthers, the Ravens, and the Chiefs, and then the Falcons. Like,
Mm.
yeah, they gonna get this dub, and then y'all gonna shut it down. Yeah, you might squeak one out against the Panthers, but yeah, pretty much your season's a wrap after this game. So yeah, there's that. um, we got Arizona and the 49ers. Arizona going out to, man, they kind of let me down, man.
Mm.
First 2 weeks of the season, they were looking like they're gonna be real competitive, and since they just,
Yeah,
yeah, man, they had so much hopes. Um,
agreed.
Speaking of, I mean, QBs might be in their last leg. Is this the last season Kyler Murray's in Arizona? Are we looking to
Ooh,
move him in the off season?
ooh.
Because,
Mm.
yeah, like he just can't get it done. I mean, the league figured him out. Didn't take that long. Maybe the injury did affected him more than we know. I don't know what happened, but whatever it is, whatever magic he had in his the first 2 seasons in the league, that shit is gone, bro.
The thrill is gone.
Give me the 49ers, man. I know they got their issues going on, but at the end of the day,
They
I think
still
they
win.
they Yeah, they need this game. Uh, yeah, you look at in their division. Seattle, you're already trailing the Seahawks. Um, your game up on the Rams. And especially with you lost to the Rams, so there's a chance to kind of create a little separation, get that game back from them, and keep pace with the Seahawks. So
Need it.
this yeah, this kind of it ain't must win, but it's kind of must win.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. Look, what you said about Arizona, I 100% agree. Um, at the point that I had to take the crappy off uh, the name's crappy scrappy team. No, I got to put it back. Last couple of weeks, y'all were very scrappy, and lately, you guys are scrappy crappy.
Yeah,
I've earned that moniker back. So, yeah, give me 49ers on this one. Um, as we get to the next game, Green Bay going to LA. It's going to be a lot of green and yellow in that building. As we know that the Rams and the Chargers, don't matter if you're an LA team on the NFC or AFC, you have a hard time uh, making a home fan base
yeah,
in that building. So with all that being said, it's going to be a lot of green and yellow. They're going to be going crazy. I think Jordan Love plays a lot better than what he did last week.
mm,
I know he threw 4 TDs, but he threw 3 interceptions. So
yeah.
I, I think he can probably give you 2 to 3 touchdowns. But I think he fixes the interception problem this week. Give me Green Bay to win this giant ratio.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. There's no home field advantage in LA. Vegas is like the same way. Man, that it was a beautiful sight in Allegiant Stadium last week. Man, there was so much orange and brown and white. The dog pound was alive and well in Vegas, and but yeah, LA is that same way. There's no real home field advantage. Cheeseheads will be abundant in LA. Yeah, I think Jordan Love had a little rust, coming back from his injury. He showed that. Still almost managed to come back and win that game.
Yeah.
The Rams don't get as lucky. I think they go in and handle business because they've sat back and they see what's going on in Minnesota, and they don't want to get you don't want to get too far out of the race. This is a conference game, so you need it for playoff positioning. They know the importance of this game. I think they go into LA and get it done.
Yeah.
Spring, yeah. This brings us the New York Giants going in Seattle, taking on the 12th man. That's all I need to say, man. Seattle at home, easy pickings.
Yep.
This is easy pickings, man. Seattle's gonna get this done at home. East Coast teams going west. You know how it is, and I mean, Daniel Jones in Seattle. Yeah,
That's all you, and more
yeah,
with no Malik Neighbors.
right.
And yeah, no, you said it all. I don't even know why
Yeah,
first of all, we're not going to waste our time, and we're not going to waste your time. All right, Seahawks, 12 men, handle business. As we talk about this next game Sunday night, a classic game right here. As these two teams back in the days used to battle over Super Bowls. We're talking about Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. I do not like the fact that you will be without DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons going up against this offense that's starting to catch their rhythm. Like you said, one of those games that got wasted last week, I'm sorry, that got wasted was, Justin Fields' great performance he had against Indy.
yeah.
Played well, got wasted. I don't think he gets wasted this week. Also, this guy needs to get it in gear. Najee Harris. I think he has a big game.
Okay.
I just got a gut feeling. Not only because I need him to have a big game on my fantasy team, but I just have a feeling that he's going to take advantage of the fact that 2 of the top defenders for the Cowboys will not be in uniform. So give me those boys from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna rock with them on this one.
Uh, yeah, I'm with you. You know how I feel about tradition and history, and certain buildings you just don't want to go into. One of them being Pittsburgh at night.
Mm.
You already mentioned you're gonna be without Lawrence. Parsons. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Trayvon Diggs added to the injury list today.
Yeah,
He
he's
was limited in practice and questionable
mm,
uh, with the game that George Pickens is coming off of.
mm.
Uh, you know, like Justin Fields' performance last week was completely wasted. Uh, if T.J. Watt was anything like his brother, and I think he is, he's not gonna let that happen again. So look for Pittsburgh's defense to be on high alert to
Mm.
give Justin as much help as they can give him on the defensive side of the ball. Uh, I don't see the Cowboys being able to run the ball at all. We're just gonna
No,
put that.
they
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
It's going to be Zach.
the game is gonna be in the hands of Dak Prescott, and the Steelers have one of the best ball hawks of all time in that defensive backfield.
Mm.
Make Fitzpatrick. So should be an entertaining game. I look for some exciting plays on both sides. What Justin can do with his arm, he's electric with his feet. Uh, George Pickens is good for a top 10 player of the week every week. Um, I still look for CD. I look for CD to get off because in order for him to win, he's gonna have to. And I think it should be a competitive game, so it should be entertaining. But I'm still taking the Steelers at home. Which brings us to good old Monday Night Football. We got the Saints. Saints, one of the hot teams coming in to Kansas City, and unfortunately for them, their quarterback's Derek Carr. And that's not to say that Derek Carr is a bad quarterback. It's just to say that Kansas City's very familiar with Derek Carr.
Got his number.
So yeah, um, I like the Chiefs at home, even though he's coming into Kansas City with a better supporting cast than he has in the past. I look for it to be an entertaining game. I wouldn't even be surprised if it came down, if it's kind of played out a little bit like tonight's game. Not maybe not the overtime, but I look for some Mahomes magic at the end, or maybe Derek Carr trying to answer a Mahomes type drive and just coming up short. I look for something like that to happen. But yeah, should be a good one.
Oh man. Um, Man, you definitely took my main talking point. I mean, I don't got the number in front of me, but if you look him up, Derek Carr does not play well against the Chiefs. All right. Yes, they are very familiar with him. They was whooping his ass when he was a Raider. I don't see no difference in this game.
You said they did him like that. See, that's why I whooped your ass when you was a little kid.
Yeah, they was whooping his ass. Yeah. It don't change. It don't change because he goes to the NFC. Uh, no. And as great as the plan that Vic Fangio had for the Eagles that exposed him a couple of weeks and slowed them down. Hey, Steve Spagnuolo's been calling a hell of a defense all year too. Um, and I like what he has on the defensive side for the Chiefs than what the Eagles got. Who's stopping that big boy 9-5? Chris Jones has been a problem. He's been creating other opportunities for everybody else on the defensive line to get their pressures because I mean he has to get doubled, sometimes triple team. Believe it or not, a linebacker who's not well known on our roster, Leo Chenal, has been fantastic. He's having a breakout year. I thought we were going to miss L'Jarius Sneed a little bit more than what we did. And so far, we haven't felt the loss of L'Jarius Sneed. First of all, Trick McDuffie is looking like a all-pro cornerback again, for sure. this year. But I mean, I just got to be honest, man. Our defense has been carrying this team just like it did last year.
Yeah.
And hopefully eventually Mahomes snaps out of it. I know he will, because that's just a football player that he is. So until that happens, I'm still expecting the defense to do what they do. But yeah, Derek Carr, numbers don't lie, bro. You're not gonna have too much success. Not having too much success. Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
All right, all right. Game you're most looking forward to that does not involve your team.
Oh, without a doubt, the Stephon Diggs Bowl. I'm because it's can even though I picked the Texans, it can really go. Uh, you know, Texans whoop them, or Buffalo makes a game out of it, or hell, we might get a one possession game like we did tonight between the Falcons and Buccaneers. It can go either one of the ways, but I think they're all viable options because maybe Josh Allen plays inspired football and probably plays up to his MVP level he's been playing up to so far.
Mm.
Hell, even in the ass whooping, he made a couple of plays. That play when he was getting running to the sideline and just kind of flung that bitch up there. That's MVP shit. That was a great play. Too bad he couldn't make any more great plays. Could have used it, but definitely looking forward to that game for sure.
Okay, okay. For me, it comes with some contingencies. But I'm gonna go Sunday night. Steelers Cowboys. While I have picked the Steelers in a perfect Browns world, if the Bengals can pull it off, and if the Cowboys can pull it off, and if we can take care of the Commanders, we're a game out of first place.
Ooh, so
Then that division would be really tight. I think that would put the Steelers at 3-2. It would put us, the Bengals, and Ravens at 2-3, having no divisional games played yet as of yet. So, with as terrible of football as we played over the first 4 weeks of the season, we would still be in prime position to compete for the division. So, definitely depending on how the Ravens game turns out earlier and how the Browns game turns out earlier, that Sunday night game could become very, very interesting for me as a Browns fan. So I'm looking at that one. Two studs, one dud.
Yes, sir. One stud. Look for DeAndre Swift to take advantage of that Panthers defense and run amok because he needs it. He kind of been
not run amok.
Yeah, because he's been kind of stagnant. I think he takes advantage of a weak defense and goes bananas against the Panthers. Definitely, look for Brock Purdy, my other stud. Handle business against Arizona. Get rid of that scrappy crap too. I mean, I tried to give Arizona the benefit of the doubt, but no, I got to put the crappy back onto your scrappy. So I think Brock Purdy might, and believe it or not, Brock Purdy's actually been having some good games, minus the interchangeable pieces that's been kind of in and out of the lineup. He's actually been playing good football. So I expect him to handle the business at home against the Cardinals. Dud, man. Yeah. This dud is definitely Daniel Jones. I mean, I don't think other white wins in this. He's about to go up to the Pacific Northwest, and he's about to lay another egg, and he's about to lay another reason why they should have drafted a quarterback. He's about to give the Giants fans something to be mad and pissed off about for the next upcoming week. He's probably going to perform like straight dog shit, and I won't be surprised. Because hey, Seattle's they gonna be wanting to get it because they had a couple of calls it kind of went their way. I didn't like that illegal screen pass interference on Tyler Lockett call. I didn't like that one. But it is what it is. Like I said, the officials do whatever they do. But no, I think Seattle's, because if they clean up a couple of things, not just that situation that happened, if they clean up a couple of things, they definitely win that game in Detroit. But a couple of mistakes and a couple of calls went against them, and they weren't able to get past that situation. But it's just motivation for them to go in here and beat up on a trash ass team like the Giants with that trash ass quarterback. Yeah, that's the best way to get the momentum back. Hey, look, when I was going through droughts in my single days, man, I was striking out on my tens, my dimes, my nines, my eights. Yeah. Hey, man, ain't nothing, knock a little big booty two out the park and get back up, man.
Hey, 2 5s is still a 10.
Hey, my math was never bad. I'm just saying, she was a 2 in the face, so she was a 10 in the waist. So that's all that matters, she had other things popping. I was like, oh, hey, kill this drop real quick. I'm back up in there. So, yeah, man.
Oh man,
just the drop buster for the Seahawks, man. Let's make you feel good.
For me, one stud, I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs, man. In order for the Packers to pull this out on the road, they're gonna have to give Jordan Love some help, and I think that starts with establishing the run game. The Rams, they gave up a good performance to DeAndre Swift. Prior to that, the 49ers, I think, as a team, ran for about 150 against them. So, I look for Green Bay to establish Josh Jacobs in this game. There you go. One more stud. Who's going to show up and show out? I'm gonna stay with your Seahawks game. I'm going to DK Metcalf. While the Giants do, their defensive line is legit. The secondary ain't it. So I look for DK Metcalf to have a game, man. Give him about 7 catches for about $105 and at least 1 tutty. So fantasy DK is a must start anyway, so that's no surprise. A dud, I'm gonna go with a surprise dud. I'm gonna go with Nico Collins. Reason being, it's that revenge game. Yeah, they're gonna be trying to let your boy show out, Stephon Diggs, and I think the person that's gonna suffer because of that is Nico Collins. I think Buffalo obviously gonna be on high alert, so they're gonna want to take away Stephon Diggs. But I think it's gonna be that battle of CJ trying to get on the ball and kind of not slighting him, but he's gonna forget about Nico. Just trying to let Stephon show out, and Nico could get out of rhythm. I think he'll suffer because of that. His targets will definitely be down. And receivers, they're rhythm creatures. When they get into that rhythm and they get going, they're unstoppable. But if you don't get them involved early, it could be a long day for those guys. So Nico, I don't look for him to show out. And that's about that, man. If we get out of here, let the folks know what you got going on.
Hey, man, y'all know, man, I got a lot of stuff I be having going on. So just going over to my Twitter page, KC Wildcard Mar. But most importantly, man, we appreciate the love and support y'all showing us right here on Thursday nights. And y'all come on back now. You're here tomorrow for our court presentation for the dynamic duo, as we always get it popping on Friday nights for the Audible podcast. So, yeah, man.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's always fun anytime. Thursday night football, it's catching on. A lot of people hated the idea. I know the players hated the idea, but hey, as a football fan, the more football we can get, the better. So as long as we just keep up the good games, that's all I ask. Keep up the good games. Stop giving us freaking ugly games. And speaking of, looking ahead, next week has the potential to be another good one. 49ers Seahawks in Seattle. So that could be a good one. Brock Purdy and the boys going to take on the
The little
Seahawks. We get our
rivalry right there.
yeah, get our first look at them. So yeah, that should be interesting. Maybe we want to skip the 17th. But
Oh,
how do these do? Well, I forget. Thursday night football was originally created so that every team could have a primetime game. That's what they say. They just want the money though. We know what it
goodness.
is. But yeah, hopefully we get to get one next week. Um, but until then, before we get out of here, do one last favor, follow them directions. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, turn your notifications on so you know the next time that we're here talking NFL football with you, which is every Thursday, 10 to 15 minutes directly after the Thursday night game. And of course, as always, you can catch us both when you want to hear in real conversations. When you want to take a trip to the barbershop or the cookout, you can catch Friday nights, 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Audible Sports Podcast, where sports meets life and culture. Tomorrow with a little baseball tribute. With baseball playoffs kicking off this week, we can give you our top 10 MLB playoff runs. So little baseball amongst other things. So tune in for that. But as of for right now, I am Bobby G for the homie Wildcard Mar, and appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Audible Thursday night post game show. Till next
Sure.
week, hey, peace. I ain't got nothing funny to say, so I'm just gonna end it.